While doing the Cressida project, the Dodge has become a big turquoise workbench for finished Cressida trim and parts. Now that the car's painted, I'm literally a day away of putting it all back together. I spent so much time cleaning and oiling and polishing all these really pretty Cressida parts. I mean, they just look fantastic. Where do you see what this thing looks like painted? I mean, everything is just really nice condition. Just nice for an 80,000 mile car. All the trim pieces are going to be put in separate. These are for the windows. They're all polished. The seals are pretty decent condition. There's actually a metal strip inside of here. When you take them out, I'm actually going to urethane these in when I put it back in the car, so they are sealed. They'll seal better. License plate, new light bulbs are in there. Look at these taillights. Those babies are polished. They're gonna look so good. Everything I spent time on is cleaned. This is the sunroof seal. Now it's interesting, Toyota did not urethane this in here. And the water lays in here, and the Toyota seams it together. I'm going to show you that when I show you the sunroof, when I show you the painted car. But they didn't do that. So instead of seam sealing it, I'm going to run a bead of urethane in here to keep the water out and protect the metal for the sunroof. And this is cleaned with purple power, so the gasket's nice and clean. It's still in pretty good shape, unbelievably. You know what I mean? But there's no way I was not taking the sunroof out. So all those trim parts are ready. I'm not putting the moldings back on. Over there is the piece of stainless for the windshield. And then I have the gasket cleaned over there. It's kind of cool. They made it out of stainless steel. So that's going to be put back on. And then everything in here, all the locks, I polished the locks. I mean, they just look super pretty. And I got new gaskets that are in there for the locks. All these came out nice. I even painted the gaskets for the door handles black because the wax had kind of discolored them, and they're really fragile, thin plastic. So that should make all the door handles look better. What do you see? These guys. These guys are all pretty. I just got my fingerprints on it, but they're looking super good. And then I've got the mirrors over here, which are going to be satin. I cleaned them today. I got to fix some guy's repair he did on it, so just crimped it on there. There's no protection, so I'm going to re-crimp these and fix these right. And then this is the piece for the hood. This is the hood piece. Polished up pretty good. It's made out of plastic. There's one little blemish here I couldn't get off. I was like, ah, that's a bummer. But I don't think you're going to really notice it that much. And this has a little gasket that's got to be sealed back on with urethane. So that's on. And then the dent that was on the hood, Ray fixed that. But that piece of trim I gave to one of my metal guys at work, hopefully he's going to be able to straighten the dink out. And we'll see how that plays out. And over here, there's the gasket cleaned for the trunk, and I'm going to seal that too so water doesn't leak in. And then there's all the wheel well trim, which I'm going to polish on the car. It's really thin. You got to be careful you don't bend it, so it's going to be easier to polish on the car when I install it. And then there are the rocker panels, and the rocker panel trim is made out of stainless steel, which is really cool. It's a shame they didn't do that with the Supra. Because the Supras, they made them out of this coated rubber, like this metal coated rubber, and the water would get in there and it would like bubble it. But with stainless, you didn't have to do that. I wish they would have done it in the Supra, but I guess it was only for the luxury car. So alright, so here's the time, guys. Now it's time, let's look at this car. I can't wait. So here we go. Oh man, we are out of paint, ready to go. Look at this thing. Oh, it's looking just marvelous. finally, after all these years, this thing is painted now. Everything looks just so good. Oh, this thing's gonna look so fantastic put back together. And that's what today is gonna be about. Putting all the pieces together, all the lenses and lights. And, oh man, look at you all pretty again. Oh man, I'm totally stoked here. That's something special. Well, I'm going to save it. We're going to get to putting it back together today, and then, oh man, I can't wait. This is going to be so exciting. Oh, I don't know how to act anymore. Alright, well, it's time to start putting it back together. Well, now it's coming together. After spending the whole entire afternoon putting all these pretty polished parts on it, it's starting to look more and more like a car. So, oh, this paint looks so good. The engine is done. All the gaskets are done. Everything is done. The only thing I have to do is charge the air, and after 2 weeks, the gauge is still holding vacuum. So that is a very positive thing. So that's telling me we're going to probably have a very successful air conditioning system working in this thing. So mechanically, I don't have to do anything. Put the battery hold down on, get rid of this inner state, and get like a plain black battery. Put the sticker back on the fuse block. But in lots of small, like minor detail stuff. You know, like I can't put this in because the wiper arms have to go on first. So I gotta wait with this. But holy crap, sunroof's back in. It's just, I didn't even polish anything yet. Like I didn't even get serious about detailing the car. Got the door handles in. I'm waiting to do this trim over the weekend. The locks are in, new gaskets for the locks are there. Ray's got to paint the outside of the gas door yet, we didn't do that. But all the emblems, all the taillights. Oh, this is my favorite part of the car, the back of it today. Man, what a lot of work after all these years. Finally, the car is getting the respect it deserves. So I got mirrors to redo yet. Gotta put the trim on the wheel wells. I got rocker molding pieces that have to be going on. I've got inner wheel houses, splash guards, whatever they're called. They have to go on yet. Bumper's got to come in here and get sprayed. We're going to do them like a satin, because that's what color they were originally. But, oh man, finally, we did the inside of the trunk. We left the hinges original, but you know, you can still see where there was some damage from when they pulled it, all the little spots where they welded the wire to it. But I'll tell you what, man, even Ray said the guy did a really good job. It's just unfortunate, really unfortunate that it had to go the way it did. But I said to Ray, I was like, if this didn't get hit by a plow and snowfall on the trunk, we wouldn't be here where we are. I probably would have just put it back together and polished it up, and then it would have had fenders that were painted, and then the quarter was painted, and this quarter would have been painted. You know what I mean? You get where I'm going. It's just now the whole car is painted, even down to the texture of the original paint. I mean, Ray is so good at doing that. It's just unbelievable. Wait till I get it outside and really look at it, because it's gonna look like $1 million. Get these wheels cleaned up. I got 1-inch wide white walls to go on there. Polish the center caps up. I got a whole entire clean interior ready to go in this weekend. Car's gonna go home this weekend and start getting cleaned out, vacuumed out, wiped out. All the jams are gonna get done and detailed. Oh man, just everything works so nicely. I didn't even try yet to lubricate everything, clean all the seals, like just do all this fine detailing clean work. Pop these out and clean them. You know, there's some overspray on it. Ray masked this area, but then polish the area where it blends in. It's gonna look so good. I don't know, I might dare to say it might be hard to tell it's painted, but it's certainly how it looks better than it did. You know? Definitely increased the value of the car. Hell, there's some of these guys that are trying to get big dollars for these things already. I don't know whether the market's going to bear big money on them, but you never know. They're certainly not $3,000 cars anymore unless they're really junky and ratty. And this one is not that. Just has a history, that's all. Every owner, anybody that's ever had it in their possession other than Ray and me, has done nothing but damage the thing. Always damaging it. I know finally it's going to get the respect it deserves. I know I say that often, but you know, Jesus. So there it is, guys. So next time I think I'm going to show this to you, I think it's going to be all back together and we can actually do a real nice walk around on it. So that's our update so far. See you shortly.